Alright, what is up guys? Professor Akali here bringing you a new video on APHELIOS, his brand new teaser, and his full champion kit. Guys, this is the most hyped up champion of season, well actually 2019, because this is the weird 80k, this is the most unique champion Riot is releasing. It's going to be like a half marksman, half assassin, 5 different weapons. I want you guys to see the teaser and then we're going to go over the abilities, because this is going to be hype. This is going to be so hype. So check this out. This is APHELIOS Weapon of the Faithful champion trailer. So it looks like he's been poisoned. We're playing Halo now. So many weapons, APHELIOS, the deadliest is your fix. So guys, as you can see right here, it kind of looks like there, I mean, you can see there are 5 different weapons, clearly. That's a melee one. Most likely. There's also, I can't tell with this one, it could be a gun. It looks like a gun the way he's holding it. That one also looks like a gun. That one, no clue, but this one's definitely melee. So he has 5 different unique weapons, and we are going to be going over them because as of just a few seconds ago, it's been released. So we're going to be going over everything. APHELIOS Kit Primer. Most champions can be summarized relatively quickly, but APHELIOS isn't most champions. Guys, who's ready to spend 2 years learning one champion? Learning to wield the weapon of the faithful demands discipline, focus, and mental acuity, whatever that means. So consider this primer your first test of faith along the path to mastering a champion with one of the highest skill ceilings in the game. But really, this page has a ton of info to process. Read it a couple of times probably. We're going to start with the overall structure of APHELIOS' kit, then get into what each of his weapons does. Guys, we're going to figure this champion out together right now. How the kit works. Guns, basic attacks, and ammo. Oh, geez. So you have a main hand and an offhand that are swapping. APHELIOS cycles through 5 weapons, each with its own basic attack. He attacks with his main hand weapon, but he always carries an offhand weapon he can swap to with W, okay? So APHELIOS can't pick and choose with which 2 weapons he equips at any given time, so it's random. It's always random, the 2 weapons. His weapons have 50 ammo, or Moonlight, each, and when a weapon runs empty, you will get his next one in line. Empty weapons go to the end of the line to recharge. Okay, so essentially you're going to be having a 2 to 3 minute gap, I'm assuming, where you're swapping your playstyle completely depending on your weapon. And because eventually after a few minutes, after you swap a few times, you'll know what you're going to be getting throughout the game, because it's going to be going in a cycle. You're going to be having to adjust accordingly. So maybe we'll talk about this more. APHELIOS can't pick and choose. Okay. Since APHELIOS can swap between his main hand and offhand, weapon order changes throughout the game based on which weapons you use first. Weapon order changes throughout the game based on which one you... Okay, so this is going to be definitely interesting. So let's talk about the abilities in a second. APHELIOS only has 3 buttons, Q, W, and R. Whoa. W swaps between his main hand and offhand weapons, leaving with actually two actual abilities, kind of. Each of APHELIOS' 5 weapons has its own Q ability. When equipped as his main hand weapon, each Q applies bonus attack and effects based off his offhand weapon. All 5 Qs cost mana and ammo, and each has its own cooldown. You can Q, switch guns, then immediately use the other Q. Okay. APHELIOS automatically learns Q at level 2, and it slowly becomes stronger over the course of the game. We'll get into what each Q does in the weapons section below. APHELIOS' ultimate, Moonlight Vigil, sends forward a moon bomb that explodes on the first enemy hit, damaging nearby enemies. Then APHELIOS follows up with enhanced basic attacks from his main hand weapon against all enemies caught in the explosion. He automatically learns R at level 6, and he automatically levels up at level 11 and 16. So, okay, you can put level 18 stats into stuff like armor pen, AD, and attack speed. This is the weirdest champion I've ever seen in my entire life. But let's talk about his ult really quick. Sends forward a moon bomb that explodes on the first enemy hit, damaging nearby enemies. Then APHELIOS follows up with enhanced basic attacks from his main hand weapon against all enemies caught in the explosion. Okay, so it's like a priming ult, I guess. You throw it out there, do some damage, and then you do more, like you're like setting it up to do more damage when you jump in, maybe. But yeah, okay. So here we go. First weapon, the Halo sword, or the carbon rifle. They call it Calibrum the rifle, but anyone who's played Halo, we already know this is a scam. Calibrum is a poke/harass weapon. Its basic attacks have extra range. When abilities deal damage with Calibrum, they mark enemies hit. APHELIOS can right-click marked enemies anywhere on the map to follow up with a basic attack from his offhand weapon. Anywhere on the map from his offhand weapon. Or this non-Calibrum weapon in cases where he swaps Calibrum to his offhand before firing. This attack detonates other nearby marks for bonus damage against the marked targets. Okay? So when you have this weapon, your Q is Moonshot, fires a skill shot that damages the first unit hit and marks them. Okay, so Moonlight Vigil Calibrum effect. So when you mark them, follows up attacks, marks all enemies hit. These marks deal higher damage when consumed. Okay, let's just continue. So now you have the red, I guess, blade-looking one. Cerebrum is a sustained weapon that allows APHELIOS to heal for a portion of the damage it deals. Overhealing converts it to a small shield. Okay, so you have a built-in overheal. Cerebrum Q Onslaught. So when you have this weapon, use Q, gain movement speed, and rapidly fire your main hand and offhand weapons at the nearest enemy, prioritizing champions. Onslaught shots behave like basic attacks but deal reduced damage. And then your Moonlight Vigil just gives you a heal for this one. Then you have a cannon. This cannon is a utility weapon that applies a decaying slow to enemies, damage, and root all enemies on the map affected by Gravitarium slow. Eclipse doesn't use APHELIOS' offhand weapon. And then you can follow up with a massively increased slow. Next up we have the blue thingy. Aphelios is an AoE/wave clear weapon. It deals increased basic attack and ability damage and creates a damage cone behind enemies. I don't think that you it forces. Like, can you swap weapons often? Because it seems like you can swap between your passive and the other one. But okay, so it seems like you're gonna be stuck with two. Maybe you can swap between them until you get rid of the ammo on one. So you'll have a few options. Like maybe at one point you'll have Gravitium and Infernium. So you get two different play styles maybe. But anyways, so that is going to be the AoE version. The Q spouts a wave of flame, damaging enemies. Then basic attacks all damage. Basic attack all enemies hit with your offhand weapon. And then follow-up attacks create damage circles around enemies hit instead of damage cones behind them. And then last up we have, I believe it's last up, you have Crescendum is a close-range DPS weapon that behaves like a boomerang. Once APHELIOS basic attacks with Crescendum, he can't attack again until it returns to him. But his attacks reset when it does. Attack speed increases Crescendum's travel speed again. What? Attack speed increases his travel speed? So it goes faster the more attacks that you have? The closer APHELIOS is to this target, the less distance Crescendum has to travel, and the faster APHELIOS can attack. When abilities or their follow-up attacks deal damage with Crescendum, they create temporary copies of it for each enemy hit that... What the freak? Guys, I'm not even pretending to understand what's going on. Deploy a turret that shoots the nearest target with your offhand weapon. That's cool. You get a freaking turret too. Moonlight Vigil for this. If Moonlight Vigil hits fewer than 3 enemies, its follow-up attacks still increase the damage of Crescendo's basic attacks as if at least 3 enemies were hit. So, That's going to be definitely good for fighting. So guys, you get... What the heck is this? This is the new heads-up display for APHELIOS. You have 2 abilities. The one... Hold on. You have the passive explaining what it does. This is going to be his main weapon and its remaining ammo, so you can see the ammo left. His Q, and then you have his offhand weapon, its remaining ammo. The next weapon you'll get, so it's going to tell you ahead of time. Okay. This guy, well, this is going to be a while to understand. Literally, my thoughts exactly. Guys, 5 weapons. This is the weird AD carry that Riot has been talking about or teasing at for several months now. I don't even know where to begin with this, but what I do know is that you guys should subscribe and hit the bell notification, because I have a feeling I'm going to be making a lot of videos on this. No matter what, I'm going to be making at least 2 gameplays on this champion, but because of how interesting this champion seems, I might be making a lot more. So if you guys want to see some APHELIOS content, definitely hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. We have 5 weapons which have their own abilities, but technically, I think you only have like 3 or 4 abilities, and even though it's like all these different things, you can't have them all at the same time. But I'm so curious to see if this champion is broken. It's going to take like 5 years for people to figure it out. No, but I'm actually curious to see what the high skill cap part is. It's probably just memorizing everything. But yeah, guys, I guess that's going to be it for this video. I wish I could help you figure this out better, but I'm overwhelmed by the fact that there are literally 15 to 20 abilities that you have to keep track of. But guys, this is going to be a blast to figure this out. I know it's going to be so much fun to play this champion. I'm so hyped for him, and I hope you guys are too. Thank you guys so much for watching, and yeah, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, hit the bell notification for APHELIOS gameplay the second he comes onto the public beta environment. And yeah, guys, have a good one. Peace out.